Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Palmisano here, and it's time for another reaction to my own performance. These are always fun because even though it exposes a lot of my weaknesses and warts, because I give myself an honest assessment, we're not speculating like when we watch other people. I know exactly what I was thinking. I know exactly what worked and what didn't, and why. So this is me playing Let's Dance with Umphrey's McGee this past Friday with Duane Trucks sitting in on drums. Duane, unbelievable. Quick little backstory. Duane is a sub drummer, okay? So this was his second gig with because Chris is getting his shoulder fixed. And they called me to do the sit-in. We didn't discuss the song until sound check. Jake said we're going to David Bowie in B flat. Your job is to be Stevie Ray Vaughan. I said I can do that, and that's it. And then here's what happened. I sound check. I didn't bring a big pedal board because I didn't want to be in the crew's way. I wanted it to be very easy to clean up and just I wanted the whole experience to be effortless for them and be a professional and be respectful. And so I just brought a little rig. I brought the MT-15. I brought the Corey Wong pedal, a tuner, reverb, clean boost. That's it. And I go to play. They said, just look for it. We're going to go into it from Whoppy. Just look for us from the side of the stage. Be ready around 8:30, and we'll call you up, and we'll finish set one. That happens, and then I go, and then I get no sound. That's what happens here. No sound. So they start. They're looking at me. I'm messing with my pedals. I scratch the tuner. It works. Plug straight in, and then, they're waiting for me, right? 4 bars goes by. So what do? I do what you're supposed to do. I just get a sound. I trust the sound engineer. I don't worry about volume. I don't sit there and screw with it and tinker it. I immediately walk to the front of the stage and go to hit a lead. Let them know that I got this. I'm going to do a bunch of simple bends, no flashy stuff, that start before the bar line to let them know I got this. I'm in. Don't sweat it. And then when it's over, I'm going to walk back, okay? I'm going to relinquish the spotlight in front of the stage, okay? I'm going to let my sound drift off and let them know we've made it to the verse. So it could have been disastrous, but I immediately wanted to come out confident and let them know, don't sweat it. And you can see Bobby and everybody on the side watching because they saw that I didn't have sound. Bobby's like this. And it worked out. Here's what happened, Stevie Ray Vaughan style. Big bends. Leaving space, but coming in early. Like right here, super quick. Way before the beat. Walk back, let them know I'm finished. End on the 5. Out of here. B flat minor pentatonic. So start with that. Just Albert King stuff, okay? Just Albert King. If you take my blues fundamentals course, like that's the Albert King box. That's what I learned at GIT. I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do big bends that are confident before the groove, like before the one, like that last big one, like very early. Let everybody know I got it. Make them feel relaxed that I'm up there, even though the gear just didn't work, so that we can move on with the song. That's the goal, okay? So make sure the audience, send one for the audience, be a professional, be a performer, but also let the crew and let the band know and feel confident and relaxed that having me there, okay? So not just what I play, but my physical body language lets them know I'm in, I'm out, I'm listening to you. I'm not going to do anything to derail this.
Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
So right now, I'm going to try to see if I can match the bass line with Stacy. I come over to him. He sees it. He comes over to me. We try to match it. It's not really working. Right there, he goes that, ooh. he lets me know he's leaving the bass line. It's not what I heard on the record in the car when I had 2 listens through to try to learn this song and just make a mental note. I came in thinking, okay, I have 4 essential parts. I got the Stevie Ray Vaughan part, which I know I have lead playing. Gotcha. 2, I can play the chords, okay, the actual chords. 3, I have the horn parts, the bop, 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 bop that I can match. And 4, I can reggae style. I could try to thicken up the bass because it's that boom, dum, dum, dum. It's that thick thing. So those are the 4 things that I'm taking with me. I did the Stevie Ray Vaughan thing at first, basic Albert King. It worked. Put that in the windbag. Gonna stick with that. Now we're in the verse. I'm gonna try to match Stasek. Didn't add anything. Didn't work. And he made it clear that he's going to move around as a bass player and not play straight up and down. So as soon as he did that last thing, even though he came over to me, right, to give us a shot to see if it meshed, it didn't mesh. So immediately scratch it and bail. Not going to play things that don't add things. Sure shit not going to detract. Here we go. Walk away. Didn't work. Into the verse. Now right there, you see me take a chance. I start with the 4 and the 5 like this, but then I do an inversion just to see if anybody else is doing it. And no one was, and it worked. So that's another win that I put in my pocket. I say, okay, Jake took his hands off the guitar, so I can, maybe he'll do that moving forward, but I know that going this worked. It elevated the second half of the verse. It didn't detract. It did elevate. I didn't hear any mesh with putting those thirds in the bass. And so, okay, another win. As I move forward, I'm going to keep doing that. Duane's groove is perfect. So he did it again. Turn F minor. Now, D sharp 7. I'm going to go to the inversion here because it worked before and see if it works. Right there, you see my hand? I slide up, same thing. I'm 3rd in the bass. Add the flat 7 here. I'm going to see if this clashes. It does not. Another win, so I'm going to remember that I'm going to do that again. This is trial and error in calculated spots to see if the voicings I choose add or detract anywhere. So those 2 things won. So now he's coming in here, and I'm assuming it's a lead part, so I'm going to be ready to do a Stevie Ray Vaughan again. Walk up. Now, right there, you hear the sound jump. Everybody that I talked to at the show said, hey, man, you weren't in the mains for the first part. That's what happens, right? There's a mic on the amp. I didn't want to mess with the sound stage. They're all on in-ears, okay? I can't tell the mix. I just have to be confident, and I have to trust. And 3 minutes and 40 seconds in, I get into the mains, or at least I'm properly into the mains. Such is life. Is what it is. That's what that little boost is that you hear. All I'm trying to do here, again, is I'm trying to stick to my basic Albert King phrasing. I'm trying to bend through the bar lines. I'm trying to groove with the drummer, not trying to play fast, not trying to do anything showy. I'm on my tippy toes. I'm trying to just send stuff into the stratosphere. I'm trying to give, I walk to the front of the stage. I'm trying to give the band the confidence that I can be in the spotlight, that I will let them know, like I did last time, when I'm going to walk back, when it's going to be done. And I'm just going to try to give the fans in the audience a completely different sound, just like Stevie Ray Vaughan did on the Bowie track, right? I'm not going to try to play something intricate or something different. I'm going to try to do that Albert King thing, but simple. Simple, big bends, lots of sustain, not overthinking it, nothing showy, just big searing leads into the air. That's all I'm thinking, just grooving with the drummer. And then just hands off, okay? So now I'm just trying to add in the keyboard parts to see if these are fitting. With the hybrid, okay? Little lick in there. Right? It's not really working. I keep trying. Yeah, that last one, I was off, okay? And so even though I'm smiling and I'm watching Jake, because he's crushing the David Bowie vocal part, I don't attempt this again. I realized that while it didn't really detract, it didn't add anything. It didn't, like this is a big band, lots of pieces, lots of different parts. They have it. At this point, I just say to myself, you're just going to add leads. You're just going to add leads, and you're not going to get in anybody's way. Like the bass part didn't elevate. This other part didn't elevate. Just let the band be the great band that they are. And when you get a chance to lead, just lock in and don't overthink it. And that's what happened. So 2 of the 4 parts that I went in and tried, I scratched already. These inversions worked every time. I stick with it. Your F. Grooving with Stacy. So I started the exact same way I started the first 2. The idea is repetition, but more importantly, my goal here is to have the fans respect me, the band, the crew respect, and like feel like I'm supposed to be there. So if something worked once, we do it twice. If it worked twice, you bet your ass we're doing it 3 times, right? There's nothing wrong with just keeping the same thing, making it a little tighter each time. So once I realized it was going to work and that this was going to be a time to shine, I go back and hit the boost, walk right to the front of the stage, and go for the spotlight. Now, it goes great. I screw it up after a big bend. I land the ending, and this is the first real wart that stands out, but the vibe was there, and so most people in the audience aren't even going to notice that the energy dipped and it didn't just keep going up the mountain. It plateaued, and then I landed it. I'll show it to you, but I turn around. Again, my pedals are in front of my amp because I didn't want a board. I didn't want something more than I had to for the crew to strike in between set lists. I want to make it as easy as possible for them, and so that's why I did it like this. So I turn around, hit it, walk up to the front of the stage, and try to send one for the fans. That's a great lick. That one worked out well. That was like a 9-5, okay? So I'm in B flat, bend the 4 through the 5, pedal off the flat 7, right? Now, all I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to send a vibe out into the air. I'm not trying to be showy. I'm not trying to show a bunch of licks. I'm not trying to show people how great of a guitar player I am. I'm trying to have one sound which just sears through the Baltimore sky, through the air that night, that when people go home, they're just like, man, that sound stood out. So I hit the boost, and I went for a bend that had 2 notes. It would sound huge, and I just took it over the whole thing, right? Kept it long over the bar, and then finished it with a little phrase. that was good. I give myself like a 9.5 on that. That, you can see the smile on my face. That was solid. And then I do this. 3 disjointed thoughts. And then I land it. Then I come back down, let them know I'm not going to try to fix that in real time. I'm going to let that little turd just sit there, and then I'm going to come back, and 90% of the people in the audience aren't going to realize that we were climbing the mountain, and instead of going off into the stratosphere, we plateaued and lost the energy, and then I landed it. I'm telling you so you learn something and you can feel it, and now it's going to be obvious. So watch it again. But the point is well, here, I'll play it again. See, look, Stasek starts that walk up. He's trying to help me recover. He knows. He's looking at me. He goes, yeah, you were aces, and then... Really what happened there, to be totally honest, is a lack of recent experience from playing on stage. The next night, if we would have played that song the next night, that wouldn't have happened. I would have kept doing what worked. I would have stuck with the SRV Gilmore thing. I wouldn't have tried a big jump. I wouldn't have gotten lost in my head. I would have stayed here, and that wouldn't have happened. That just shows you that I'm a bit out to pasture. Even though that I belong on stage, I'm comfortable on stage, I made a choice to choose education and to choose the internet. So that right there is a prime time example of someone whose chops and brain, etc., are stuck in teaching mode and internet mode and not gigging, touring, grooving with the band mode. First real wart that really stood out to me. But recovering is its own skill set. I certainly recovered, and all is well with the world. Like, it's music. No one actually got hurt. What was great about that is he didn't try to Stevie Ray Vaughan. He didn't try to match what I was matching. He stuck with the vibe of the band so that I could still stick out in my own thing. Appreciated, noticed, respected. What a pro. And so I decided to go even simpler. I abandoned the Stevie Ray Vaughan approach that I've been doing, which is the like that whole basic thing, and I come in with just straight interval playing. Now, all I'm doing here is I'm trying to have fun. I've never played this guitar at a big gig. I've never played a Pure 6 before. I've never played this amp at a big gig like this, and I just kind of want to see what this guitar can do. And the best way to do that is to do single note, little vocal lines, and just do a lot of the... right? And let the reverb cascade and try to feel it in the air. And that's all it's all I'm doing here is I'm working the rig, trying to keep it one note at a time, vocal style, not playing guitar licks, just I'm in the vibe here. I'm in the moment. Like that, rah, and that cascade going off, that is a great way to test an amplifier. Like if you got the nuts like that, and you can let it bloom and then throw it off and then just listen and then pick up and have that dynamic, like that feel still there. That's when you know you got a good guitar and a good amp combination, which is certainly this. Let me make sure my amp's light. All right, I'm back on. Here we go. Now, I'm not going to try any other ones. I'm just going to add little licks where there's space.
To the sounds they're playing on the radio.
sprinkle of Albert King, Where There's Room.
Too much. 95 Baltimore, don't play.
Love Jake. Crushes both. Here for Stacy walking up. So right here, I'm thinking they're going to go back into the chorus, but it's clear here's where Jake and I are going to jam. All groove with Duane right here. And those little pushes, again, I'm just having fun being an electric guitar player here. I'm not using this at all right now. I'm grooving with Duane, and I just want to see if I can push notes around. Just single notes, basic intervals, just pushing notes around with the amp. I'm just feeling the electricity. That's like, this is my favorite thing in the world. Jake comes in with an invitation here. Ba-da-da. And if it was fast, I wouldn't come in. But because it sounded like an invitation, I play a little line that is in response to that. And if he bites, then we'll harmonize together. And that's exactly what happens. It's real time, thinking on your toes, listening first, and responding to what you're hearing. That's the next big wart. Ugh, I hate that. Again, you can tell that I've been listening to a lot of Cornell. You know, you can tell that I've been in teaching mode in Jerry Garcia land, and you know that's a 1/7 flat 7 little chromatic run. That does not work. Are the notes wrong? No. But did it work? Did it fit anything that I've been doing? No. That's when I left this, I went into this, and I remember thinking before I played it, I'm going to do a chromatic run. Michael, this isn't going to work. Don't do it. I watched myself do it, and I'm just like, God damn it, you shouldn't have done it. That's life. One of the main goals of an improviser is to stay in this space and get out of this space. And it's a constant battle, moment to moment, within songs, within life, right? And you just got to see, again, a prime example of someone who spends their day doing this and using this instead of doing that. But again, you bet your sweet ass next time that won't happen. It wouldn't have happened. But it did happen tonight. It's true. So I immediately hold 2 notes, try to recover. He picks it up, so I pick it up. He's high, so I'm low. So right here is the third real wart. This is the real thing the third real thing that stands out to me that I wouldn't do again. He's doing this, you know, this tremolo ascending thing. And I do this hybrid picking root flat 7 5th thing. The genre doesn't equate. I'm doing a country thing when he's doing a Van Halen thing. Like, it's not that simply put, but I'm using a hybrid of picking fingers, and he's just tremolo picking. Like, the timbre doesn't work, the phrasing doesn't work. Like, even though the speed is there, and we're still going to. Right? Just the overlap of me thinking that, like, the way that it cycles, it just doesn't match with what he's doing. Again, 90% of people won't pick up on that, but for those of you that are players, you'll realize that, like, that's something that Michael's not going to do that again, right? But then I look at the band, I realize we're all going to end. Everybody looks around. I didn't know how long we were going to do this, and we end together on the B flat, and we call it a day. And then I blow a kiss to my friend Brad because he said, I'll get video if you blow a kiss. I said, all right, Brad. And that's it. That's my sit-in with Umph doing Let's Dance. Quick recap. Found out the song that day. Had gear problems, okay? Didn't get to rehearse with the band. Limped in late, but I had listened in the car. I came in with the 4 basic parts, and so I knew I was going to have to make it happen. When I had gear issues in the beginning, it was the beginning of the song. I didn't want them to just go into the verse without making them feel comfortable that I'm on stage with them. So as soon as I got a sound, I trusted the sound engineer. I was not loud enough, but it doesn't matter because the vibe was there. I just walked to the front of the stage, took 4 bars, big Albert King, Stevie Ray Vaughan bends, bending before the beat, letting them know that I got this, then physically walking back when it was over, ending on the 5th, making it clear that, it's yours to take the bus, and they took it in the verse, done. Each of the 2 times through the verse, I tried the bass once, I tried matching the horn part. Neither of them added anything, even if they didn't detract, so I scratched them. Wasn't going to do that. I took the wins that did work when it went into the chorus. For the 4 and 5 chord, I did those 2 little inversions. They worked, so I did it every time. When I got the time for my second solo, the first approach worked, so I did it again for the second solo. Again, I didn't know how many I was going to get, but I took the win that I had, did it, and it worked out fine. Third one, again, a couple warts in there, a couple things I would not do again. Realized that sticking to the Stevie Ray Vaughan, David Gilmour style thing is what fits best. It's what blended best. So I wouldn't try that little chromatic thing again. I wouldn't try that weird jump. I would stick to that big searing sound that's different, that everybody can latch onto, and not try to do anything fancy or different at all. And that's it. All in all, I give myself probably like a 91, which is a really good grade. And it's mostly because the goals that I set out, like my intent, was achieved. And that's number 1, make the crew and the band not regret that they invited me up, okay? Make it as easy as possible, as professional as possible, and with every opportunity, make it clear that I'm only going to add. I'm not going to take away from anything. I respect you guys deeply. I'm grateful for being up here. You only know me from the internet. You have no idea the experience I have or don't have playing on stage. So, like, that's my number 1 thing. Like, I want them to feel like anytime they see me, it's going to be a non-issue. Whether we have gear issues or I know the song or not, like, Michael's not one to worry about. So I feel like that was good. The fans. Last time I did it sit in like this, I didn't walk to the front of the stage and lean forward and really try to give them a visual, not just audible takeaway that I can fucking play guitar, that I'm a good guitar player, and I'm not just an internet guy editing the videos till the notes are perfect, that like I belong on stage. But these life choices I made are exactly that, life choices. And I felt like that I achieved that. I felt like the feedback I got from the fans was that they loved it. Everybody loved the tone. I didn't get any negative feedback. And believe me, there's always negative feedback. And the third thing is that I had stuff to improve on that was easy and obvious. That I know that I don't gig all the time anymore, but those little things that didn't work genre-wise, that didn't mesh, there's 3 little spots. There are only 3 little spots. They're simple fixes, and again, it would never happen again. So, like I say, I'm 91. I'm happy with it. Like, I'm damn happy with it. The only thing I'm not happy about is I had to give back that PRS NF53 this week. It was a loaner, and they didn't like that it had the microphonic pickups, and that I gigged with it anyway and made that video with the microphonic pickups where I mentioned it. But get what you get. I loved the guitar. If anything, the pickups squealed so bad and were so microphonic when it was high gain. If anything, it was a gift in surprise that I had to have it on the clean channel with lots of headroom with the Corey Wong drive pedal on with virtually no gain. It worked great, and I would not have figured that out if I would not have it set like that with a different guitar. So you never know what you're going to get. That's it, my friends. I love you all. If you enjoyed this, if you learned something, please hit subscribe, okay? Most of you watching this will not be subscribed, but if you hit that button, it will let me know that you like this, and it will let YouTube know that you like my channel, and it will serve you stuff. And for those of you that want to take it a step farther, and you are curious about my lessons and my courses and how I approach the neck, everything I learned at GIT, and how I prepare for stuff like this, you can click the first link in the description and join me on GuitarGate. It's my life's work. I'd love to be your online teacher, and a way of me saying thank you for supporting me and allowing me to do this for a living is that my GuitarGate students get to pick what comes next on YouTube, and you get to upload videos for feedback, and so we'll all grow together. That's it. I love you all. I will see you soon. Cheers. Oh, and obviously, thanks to the band. You're the best band in the land, and I love you guys. Cheers.